Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. I'm Sarah Van Tyne, and we're here today with the Lyft Business Panel. We have some very exciting guests, and Jared, I'm looking forward to our conversation that we're going to have today.
Very excited to chat with both of you. I appreciate you guys having us back.
Well, to kick things off, Tully Williams of the Nilo Company is here with us also. And Tully, right now, what Lyft Business is doing for automotive dealers is really top of mind for a lot of us that are looking at how to improve their customer experiences.
It is. I mean, when you look at it's, I call it's the emergency ride that happens now. Whereas a lot of times you have loaner cars and rental cars, and then you want to send someone to Enterprise or Hertz or something, which is a massive task. But someone says, "I just need to get home." Bam, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, or sometimes if you're busy, they'll actually hang out at your store. We'll be there instantaneously and gets that ride back. Or someone's at a store and say, "Hey, drop me off at the mall and call me when you're done." This is where Lyft comes in. Because of the issue of time when we're selling hours, time is what's precious. And what happens with Lyft is it helps us sell hours because we're taking some of that time away and giving it back to the customer. And we make it happen today, not tomorrow. A loaner car is expensive. Rental cars are really expensive, but Lyft makes it happen now.
Jared, this is really, as Tully's talking about this, he mentioned, loaner and rental, and or even like the shuttle van. Those are all pieces that customers are familiar with. But the reality is, those take a lot of time, as Tully mentioned, in somebody's, logistics and scheduling. And you get to really help dealerships optimize a lot of that experience for the customer.
Exactly. We've really come in as an added layer of efficiency inside the dealership. The dealership service department is great at servicing vehicles. Lyft is great at transportation. And so this is where it's sort of a match made in heaven, because what we've been able to do is we've been able to allow dealerships to focus on what they're best at, give their advisors the time back to service more vehicles and to sell more services. The olden days, you've got the shuttle. There are so many aspects of the shuttle that are not only inefficient, but costly. A shuttle, if you have one shuttle, customers are waiting for their second, their third, their fourth drop off. Getting back to the dealership is a headache with the shuttle, because not only do you have to factor in the shuttle driver's schedule, the customer's schedule, but then traffic. The shuttle needs to go get the customer. Think
Right.
about the efficiency enhancement of calling a driver that's 2 minutes away from your customer versus sending off your shuttle, which is going to cost you the head count of the driver, the fuel, the insurance on the vehicle, to then go sit in traffic and wait for 25 minutes to go pick up your customer. It just becomes an added layer of efficiency, and we're really grateful for how the automotive industry has embraced our services.
And Tully, as Jared's speaking about those pieces, I'm having flashbacks, right, with with the shuttle vans and some of those experiences. But he's so right. So, I'm imagining, customers today looking at their watch and the clock has already started when they're waiting and waiting, before they even get to the dealership. It's already on the way over to the store is when the clock started on that service experience. And Tully, I'm imagining that Lyft has helped, not only, minimize some of those complaints that you maybe would get from a traditional, shuttle service, or even, there's a lot of customers sometimes that get very unhappy and worried about the liability that comes with a rental or a loaner.
100%. I think a lot of times is that when you look at a customer that comes in that wants a loaner, okay, those people are there, and it is what it is. But loaners are also at high demand, and they're very expensive for a dealer to operate. And a lot of manufacturers require a minimum amount of loaners. But here's the deal: we could, a service department could double or triple their loaner cars and always still be out. So the goal now is that we have our minimum amount, but now a lot of times customers don't need a loaner. As you said, they don't sometimes are afraid to drive it. So the goal is going to be is that's where Lyft really comes in to help us out, where we just need a quick ride home, or I already have a second car, just get me where I need to go. Or if it's an in and out job in one day, just take me to work and bring me back. The shuttle van, the antique like a rotary phone, you could get on a shuttle bus and be on there for 4 hours, right? And you're like, where am I going? You're like, oh my God, we got to go there. I mean, it's like a school bus. So shuttle vans are kind of like dinosaurs today. And honestly, I don't think we have any anymore. It's just because they don't work anymore because people are not going to wait 2 or 3 hours to get dropped off. The customer might be in the shuttle van, but he is not a happy person. And most shuttle vans are always not clean and smelly. They're just ugly. So Lyft helps us with that time management. Now, a lot of times you talk about the pickup event. The pickup event is probably the worst in the entire process because we also have a time limit of when we're open. A lot of times we finish up at say 4 o'clock. We're open till 5 or 6. And would you like to pick up a car? Well, you can come and pick me up now. Well, if sending a driver like Jared said would take us an hour or half an hour, whereas a Lyft driver can be there in minutes to pick that person up and get happy. And guess what? They get a link, they get to watch the driver come to them, pick them up, and they actually can see what's happening, which is being that transparent. As we are in the repeat referral business, our job is to make sure our clients and customers are happy. And Lyft really helps us with that, taking away that uncertainty of bringing the car in or dropping the car off.
Jared, I want to touch on what Tully just described because that is a very anxiety inducing point in the customer experience with transportation. If I'm again going back to the shuttle driver, even the rental, there's that anxiety about, oh my gosh, well, how do I got to stop and fill it up with gas. I got to make sure that it's, clean or that I don't, hit anything on accident on the road. And then I've also got to, if it's the shuttle, I'm not sure when exactly it's going to arrive and will I make it, back to my car in time? Does it impact the rest of my day? So what Lyft is offering really gives a lot more transparency. They get to see, as Tully said, that driver who's coming to get them, where they are in that process, and it alleviates a lot of that anxiety in the process. But Jared, I would love to get the perspective from you. So what does that experience, managing it look like from the dealership side?
It's very simple. What we've really built is a system that allows a service advisor to dispatch a ride in the click of a few buttons. We've got our standalone product in our Lyft Concierge service. We've partnered with some of the industry leading software companies where through your DMS or your scheduling system, you could also request your Lyft rides. But when a customer's at the dealership, 2 clicks and a service advisor can have a ride dispatched to get that customer home. Now, what Tully was mentioning, which is, and Sarah, you were mentioning as well, that return ride, this is where we really start to see the efficiency scale. What we've been able to do is create an option which we call as the flexible ride.
Yes.
What that does is it gives the power for the service advisor to send the customer a text message link, which is essentially a token that allows them to request the ride back to the dealership when they're ready. So let's think of it from the customer's perspective. The customer doesn't know when they're going to be done with work. There's a ton of anxiety in trying to coordinate, will the shuttle be able to get to me? What if my meeting goes late and then now the shuttle has to go pick up another customer? It's just an inefficient process. And then similarly, flip it on its head and we talk about the service advisor experience. In the legacy shuttle experience, what the service advisor is needing to juggle is not only all of the folks in the service drive, but where is my shuttle driver? What does traffic look like? What other customers does he have to pick up? And what if those customers are late? Now the shuttle driver has to make the executive decision of, am I waiting for customer A to then go pick up customer B? Or is customer B now just going to be waiting until customer A shows up? We've really just flipped this on its head because what we can do now is we can empower a service advisor to call you up. Sarah, your vehicle is done with service. When you're ready to come pick up your car, open that text message that was just sent to you and click the button to dispatch the ride. We're open till 6. If you think it's going to be after 6, if you choose to have an after hours pickup or drop off operation, great. But you've really washed the responsibility for the service advisor to be micromanaging 3 different people's schedules along with traffic, which is nearly impossible and a complete waste of time.
And Tully, I want to go on another topic with this too, because this piece is the last real experience that the customer is having in this transaction, really before they pick up their vehicle and before they're back on the road with the car. This is the last component, the transportation piece, or getting back to the dealership. So it really leaves an imprint on the whole rest of the perception of the dealership operation. And I'm just curious, from your perspective, Have you seen your service advisors, really embrace this? And you 10 different brands or 10 different stores that you're managing. How does it look from your perspective?
So we spend a lot of money with Lyft, and I tell you, I spend a ton of money with also with our loaner cars. But the goal is going to be is that what does the customer want, right? And I think that you said it elegantly is that it's the lasting impression. The worst thing I could ever do is call me when you need a Lyft ride, and then what do service riders do a really good job at? Not answering the phone, right? So then what happens? They don't get a Lyft ride, and now they're calling a friend, or they call a cab, or they call a Lyft themselves, and then it's a disaster. If we're truly in the repeat and referral business, we've got to make sure it's easy to use. So when they leave, the ride back is not the reason why they would never come back. The repair could be great. The price could be just fine. We could have done it greatly. They like the service writer. But if we make them mad because it's hard to get communications or trying to get to the store and back, that will be the reason why they leave. Lyft ensures that. So that thing he talked about when we send them a Lyft quote or now a Lyft link, and they can use it whenever you want, is the service writer's dream. It's set it and let it go. In fact, a lot of times we'll set it up when we take them home or wherever they want to go, is we'll send them a link automatically right then to come back. So then we don't have to worry about it anymore. So now all we have to worry about is let's get the car done because he would like it today. So now when we text a customer, if texting is the way they want to be called today or communicated with, your car's all done. I sent you a link how to pay for it. Thank you, Mr. Customer. Everything was great. You got the pictures and video. Your car is all green. As you know, this morning I sent you a link for a driver to pick a link for Lyft to bring you back. How cool was that? No stress, nothing at all. When you have a loaner car, well, you got to make sure you bring it in. As you said, I got to put gas in it. Did I ding it? Are they going to charge me for something, right? That all kind of goes away. So we have a lot of customers that have gone from loaners to Lyfts because they're comfortable with it. And the nice thing about ride sharing is it's very adoptive. I think ride sharing is hugely popular, so that's not like people are scared anymore. It's kind of a way of life today, and it's really worked out. The last thing I want to say is I think he touched base is that it has to be easy for our service riders to make. And the concierge software, which is supreme, has done it very well. They can log in very quickly and get a ride in microseconds. Everything that we've talked about, a service rider has never once complained for it to be hard to get a driver. Okay, that is a huge deal, right? And to me, that's what makes the software really, really great. And that's the reason why we have chosen Lyft, because it's easy to use, right? For the service advisor, customers don't really care how they get picked up. But our service advisors need a product that works well, and Lyft has been a great partner for the Nita company. And we started back in COVID, and it was a little sketchy in COVID. People were scared. It was hard to get drivers, and so forth. But now, we've been with them for a long time. It's really customers kind of expect it.
And Jared, I want to go unpack just in kind of our final thoughts what Tully just talked about, which is, our dealers that are listening today have a lot on their plates when it comes to managing different softwares. And I mean, my gosh, they probably have, on their desktop, at least 20 plus windows open, at any given time, between their browser and the DMS and everything else. So talk to us a little bit about the dashboard. So what kinds of support, reporting, and pieces do you give dealerships in this business environment?
So we have a robust dealership portal that service managers, service directors, all the way up to executive stakeholders can get access to. This will have everything from analysis on overall rides. It'll have individual ride receipts. As many of you may know, a lot of OEMs actually offer reimbursement for rides associated with warranty work. And so we have the capacity to make it mandatory that a repair order number is added before a ride can be dispatched. This will be associated with that ride, attached to the receipt, and there are processes, end of month reporting, ongoing reporting, daily ride receipts that can get forwarded to the warranty administrator or warranty manager so that they're able to streamline those reimbursement processes. The really nice thing about the concierge program is it's all consumption based. So there's no flat fee, there's no fixed fee. You guys get access to the online portal so that in the event that you need to request a ride, you're only paying for the rides that you do request. And that's kind of the foot in the door for a lot of folks that might be a little bit apprehensive in changing up their process. Is why not have this back pocket solution? So in the event that your shuttle driver is sick, or unfortunately there's an accident and the shuttle is needing repair, or you've just got a customer who's very upset, and the best thing is probably to get them home or get them where they need to go so the vehicle service can get started. There you have Lyft, the ability to jump into the concierge program, dispatch a ride quickly, and get them out. And then separately, we also, as I mentioned before, have our integrations with our software partners. So leading DMSs, leading scheduling softwares, if folks are not looking to add another tab to the browser, they can actually dispatch their rides right through the repair order on many of the leading DMS systems. This adds a layer of efficiency and streamlining for reimbursement and allows people to not have to navigate away from their workstation to open anything up.
So I'll add one other thing is that the software is also very helpful for the most important division of the dealership, the business office, as they can go and run reports for every store in a portal with all the stores are there, and they can get the actual billing and all the invoices they need, which is a huge deal because, as you know, invoices is a nightmare sometime when you have so many. So our portal has been worked very, very well for our business office. So they have all the access they need at any time you want, they have access to, which has been a huge plus for us.
And Jared, our dealers that are listening today and thinking about 2026, they're thinking about how to elevate their customer experience strategy, how to really improve retention and deliver a better experience when it comes to transportation. How easy is it to get started? What are the next steps?
It's very easy. So on the ticker, there is a URL that dealerships can visit to submit their contact information to initiate a conversation. At the end of the day, we understand every dealership is going to be a little bit different. This ranges from the OEM, the location, the geography, the demographic. And we don't look at it as a one size fits all approach. What we want to do is we want to have a conversation with you. We are the folks that brought rideshare to the automotive industry. We have the most experience in working with dealerships across the country. And we want to sit down, learn from you folks to hear what your current customer transportation options are, and work together to figure out what's going to be the best solution. One of the things that's grown in popularity significantly since we've launched this is utilizing Lyft for vehicle pickup and delivery. Service valet from COVID on has exploded. And so we think about what the process before was, which was sending out 2 service advisors to drop off a loaner car and then pick up the customer's vehicle, bring it back, service the vehicle, and then send 2 folks out again to pick up the car versus sending 2 folks in a Lyft to go pick up the car. It goes from, one person. It goes from a 2-man job to a 1-man job. And this is not something that we would have naturally known unless it was for us sitting down with dealerships and saying, hey, where can we help add efficiency? Where can we help add value? And that's ultimately what we want to do. We'd love to have conversation, learn about your current operations, figure out where we can fit in, if we can fit in, and then really help you guys grow your business.
Amen.
Lots of great information shared today at the Lyft Business Automotive Partnerships panel. As Jared mentioned, everyone, if you are interested in more information, the link to get started is in the ticker below. You can also reach out to Jared Levy of Lyft Business. We have, of course, Tully Williams of the Nilo Company here with us. And Jared, Tully, hope you all have a wonderful and happy Thanksgiving in the week ahead.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
On behalf of TEDx, I'm Sarah Van Tyne. We're here at the Lyft Business panel at the Fixed Ops Roundtable.